Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. So in today's video I'm going to be showing you how I make this dress behind me. This is the Millie dress and it's basically composed of loads of different jumpers. So Tabby and I went to a kilo sale the other day and we picked up a variety of different jumpers, and the kilo sale actually stocks all of the remnants from charity shops that haven't been sold, so it's a perfect way to reduce textile consumption and use up jumpers and things that have holes in that nobody else will be buying. So if you want to follow along as I make this, then carry on watching. The first thing that I'm going to do is take the jumper that I think fits me the best on the upper body and is quite tight against my skin, and I'm going to measure 12 centimeters under the underarm because that's personally where I want my bust line to lie, but obviously you can change yours to whatever you want to. And then I'm going to pin all the way along so it's the exact same on the other side and cut this. So to cut all of the different pieces of knitwear, what I'm going to do is I'm going to chalk down the lines that I create, and then I'm going to use a rotary cutter. You can use scissors, it's no difference really, but the rotary cutter will probably make it more of a straight line, so it's completely up to you. The next thing that you're going to do is measure 21 centimeters down from the top of the armhole and 8 centimeters along from the underarm, and you're going to create this line which we are now going to cut. So this is what your first jumper should look like. It should be cropped on the sleeve and also cropped along the hem. So then I just like to try on the initial jumper, as this is the base of our whole dress, so you need to make sure that this one fits you properly so that the rest of the dress goes smoothly. So I've just tried it on and I do like where the bust is gonna sit because there is always a 1 centimeter seam allowance, so this will be just slightly higher, and the same with the armholes, so I'm really happy with this. And we're going to now move on to cutting the rest of the panels for the dress. So in order to get our panels the correct fit, what you need to do is measure the largest part of your body, which is the hip area. So you need to measure the largest part of your hip, and this will create the measurement that we're going to use for the panels for the rest of the dress. So mine is 96 centimeters, so that is the measurement that I will be using. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take the next smallest jumpers, because these are the ones that I'm going to use around my waist and for the rest of the sleeve of the arm. So these panels are 22 centimeters long, and basically I'm just going to cut it to whatever the width of this particular cardigan is, and then once it's around my body I can then adjust the sizing. So I've just cut that panel out and I'm going to keep it upright in the direction that the cardigan was originally in, because typically this top edge will be larger than this edge because this is for the waist and this was nearer the bust. So I'm going to keep it this direction because my bust is bigger than my waist, so it should fit me better using this method. I'm then going to take all of the pins out and remove all of the buttons. So in order to get the correct fit for the dress, I'm using our mannequin Florence, and I've basically just put all of my measurements in. For the bust, I have minused 2 centimeters, so it's a little bit tighter just because knit fabric stretches, and I did the exact same for the waist. I minused 2 centimeters, but then for the hips I actually kept it the same measurement because I want it to be slightly looser and the correct fit, and then the skirt off the dress is just going to drape to the floor. So I put the first jumper on the mannequin inside out because this is how we're going to drape the dress, and I am happy with how this fits on the mannequin. It is quite tight here and here along the sides, so I don't think this one needs to be altered. But now moving forwards, I'm going to drape the next piece on and you'll see how I alter that on the mannequin. As I'm using cardigans, I'm also aware that there will be seams every now and then down the back of the dress, but that is just the nature of upcycling and I'm perfectly happy with that. I don't think that that adds any problems to the design element. So I'm just going to continue draping, as I said, and now we're going to move on to the next panel. Okay, so now I'm moving on to the grey panel, and then I'll be moving on to the other jumpers, and I'm going to time lapse this, and what I'm going to do is cut 22 centimeters long for each panel, and then, as I said earlier, the width will depend, all based on the draping on the mannequin. So let's go. Okay, so the main body of the dress is sewn now up until around the knee point, and then these are the little panels that I've made for where I'm going to create a slit down the side just so it's easier to walk in. So I've sewn 3 of the panels together, and then I've overlocked the edge, and then what I'm going to do is turn it under and do a little top stitch all the way down, and do the exact same for this one. I haven't overlocked this one yet. And then I'm going to attach it basically to the main body of the dress. Okay, so this is what the current dress looks like. I have finished sewing on the bottom panels, and basically what I did was I hand stitched all of these side slits down because a top stitch just wouldn't have looked as neat and tidy, and you can barely see it honestly, so that worked really well. And then I just stitched this whole panel to this pink panel and then overlocked it, and now it's in place. So the only thing left to do is add the sleeves on. So I've sewn the main body of the dress together now, and I've attached one sleeve, and now what I'm going to do is attach the other sleeve using the patterns that I've created from the original top and sleeve. So I basically just redrew around the original sleeve and then quartered it, and now I'm using these patterns to cut out new shapes from different jumpers so I can create this different effect of paneling down the sleeve. So let's go and cut out the remaining sleeve. So this is the final dress. This is what it looks like. It's got this lovely slit down the side, as you saw earlier, which I really like. And I love the way I've panelled the colours in this particular dress. I really like the way that it looks on. So it's the perfect spring-summer transitional dress. And that is the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in our next one. Bye guys.